Welcome back to our channel where we bring you topics on everything cruising, including history, destinations, industry news, and bring to life the goofy characters of our make-believe cruise ship the Costolata. Today, we dive into a fascinating tale from the Titanic sea trials. Was there really a paying passenger on board during those crucial days? Let's unravel the mystery of Wycoff Vanderhoef. There is a popular story that during her sea trials, there was one paying passenger on board, cabin B19, ticket number 111240. A 61-year-old man named Wycoff Vanderhoef. The story claims he booked passage not only to Southampton but also straight through to New York on first class, paying £33.10 in modern 2024 American money, just under $4,000. Little is known about Mr. Vanderhoef, and even the photo of him often used is questionable. Many believe his presence during Titanic sea trials and supply run to be true, but I do not. It makes no sense. Just getting to the Titanic would have been a liability for Harland and Wolff. Vanderhoef would have needed special permission to get past the guarded gates of the shipyard. Even if escorted, he would have walked through a minefield of trip hazards and incredible noise from riveting and construction. Harland and Wolff did not have a permit or license to legally carry passengers. That paperwork only existed after the sea trials were finished. The Board of Trade Supervisor, Francis Carruthers, was on the ship during the sea trials. He would have noticed an unfamiliar passenger during lunch. And William Alfred Jeffrey, the a la carte restaurant controller, wrote to his mother on April 1, 1912, mentioning they were doing very little except trying to get various jobs done. He didn't mention preparing meals for a passenger. The premise of the story is that Wycoff Vanderhoef left New York on March 23, 1912, traveling to Belfast, Ireland on the Olympic. He planned on visiting his sister and conducting business in London. The legend says that on April 2, 1912, he boarded Titanic in Belfast. This would have been impossible because it was the Titanic sea trials, not a passenger voyage. Upon arrival in Southampton, things get murky. Some versions claim he stayed at a nearby hotel before boarding back on the ship on April 10th. Others claim he stayed on the Titanic for the 6-day layover, using it like a hotel. If true, what an amazing experience. But we know for certain he was in Belfast. According to the Belfast newsletter, there was only one direct booking from Belfast by the Titanic, the passenger being a visitor from America named Wycoff Vanderhoef. But the wording suggests he purchased a ticket for passage on the Titanic while in Belfast, not that he boarded there. It's things like this that make me cling to the Oxford comma. To further make the point, I could have purchased a ticket for the Titanic in Coton in the Elms, Derbyshire, which is the most landlocked city in the United Kingdom, but that does not mean I was boarding the Titanic from there. I get the impression people read the piece from the newsletter and took it out of context. Also, none of the surviving crew ever mentioned the one and only passenger on board during that time. We know as a matter of historical record the Titanic carried 13 men as passengers when she left Belfast. 10 were the Harland and Wolff Special Guarantee Group. The other 3 were a White Star director, Harold Sanderson, Board of Trade Surveyor Francis Carruthers, and naval architect, Edward Wilding. 424 crew were also on board. I just don't see how he could have been aboard for the sea trials. There is always a myth or legend that comes out of a big event in history. It gets carried on until it almost becomes fact. It is true that Mr. Wycoff Vanderhoef died in the Titanic disaster. He is listed as number 245 of the souls they were able to retrieve from the cold Atlantic waters. His record of effects show he was a man of means. However, we are all equal in death. His wife, who spoke to a newspaper reporter post-disaster, never mentioned his boarding in Belfast. Neither did any of his friends who were interviewed. Oscar A. Baker, a friend of Vanderhoef, told reporters that he sailed from Southampton on the Titanic, first class. And that is where the story ends for the stowaway on the Titanic sea trials. Thank you for watching and supporting our channel. Like and subscribe, that really helps. Visit our channel for more. Until next time, happy cruising.